Welcome. I am so excited you are here. You did it. You decided you wanted to stop making your holidays about your fear around food and exercise and start coming up with some habits you can apply throughout this holiday season and beyond. There is a lot of information coming your way, but I do not want that to overwhelm you. I have specifically made this challenge so you feel these action steps are doable during the busiest time of year. Grab a calendar and block off 15 minutes each day for the next 5 days. That is all the time you need to learn these small changes and then apply them daily to make a large impact. For the first day of this challenge, I'm diving right into the most popular struggle you all expressed: lack of control. I get it. There are a lot of temptations coming at you this holiday season, but here is the thing. You are always in control of what you eat. Always. To say you have no control when it comes to your food is an excuse, not a true statement. Just throwing a little tough love out there really early on. Think about it. Is there someone that is actually forcing the food in your mouth, or are you the one putting it there? I know it is easy to blame the situation and say you do not have control over what other people bring to parties and gatherings. You are right. You do not have control over what they bring, but you do have control over what you choose to eat. It's not about taking back control, but about starting to use it because you never lost it. This is the most powerful mindset shift you can do for yourself during this challenge, the holidays, and your life. I know what you're thinking. Awesome, Elizabeth. Sounds great. But how do I do it? By completing this challenge. This is exactly what I have built this challenge to do. Show you how so you can have a holiday plan at the end of all of this. Sound good? Okay, let's move on to our takeaways for today. Takeaway number 1, practice the art of thank you without obligation. The only person who is making the decision for you to eat more is you. The only person who can make the choice to stop eating is you. You are the one in control, not the food. You may have this belief that the food controls your thoughts and actions. Nope, it's all you. The most common statement from your requests was, how do I eat just one? I know you want a magic one answer solution to this, but I promise by the end of these 5 days, you will have a better understanding of how all the takeaways can apply to this one struggle. For now, let's look at an example of when you might feel the need to have more than your fair share. You know those neighborhood treats you start accumulating at an exponential rate and you feel you have no control over? I get them every year, you guys. But you do not have to eat them just because someone gave them to you. I repeat, you do not have to eat them. Your friendly neighbor dropping by a tree is not their way of telling you that you now have no choice but to eat whatever it is they are giving you. They are performing an act of kindness, and your simple, "Thank you, that was so kind," is all they are seeking. They have no idea what happens to their generous gift the moment you close that door. They walk away with a smile whether you eat it or it goes in the trash. Now, this in no way means that you cannot have any of those yummy treats. However, you cannot feel guilty and then blame your neighbor for your choices. I'm sure you've had these thoughts in the past like, if only they had not brought me those brownies, I would not have ... you fill in the blank. Or, I don't want this to go to waste. These thoughts are you giving up control to a situation you can control. So how do you make the choice to toss rather than eat? Let's move on to takeaway 2. Decide early what foods hold the most value to you. Maybe your dear sweet elderly neighbor makes the most amazing cinnamon rolls every single year. You cannot imagine your holidays without having one of them. Good. Eat one because it has that much value to you. On the other hand, you might have a few neighbors who provide a sample plate large enough to feed your sugar craving for the entire year. If you never look forward to this plate of goodies, that is a sign that maybe this is not the treat that you place value on. Let your kids and or spouse pick a favorite and then toss the rest. You have other food that holds more value to you. Remember, this is your goal, your life, and your choice. Don't feel guilty for the food choices you get to make. This can also be applied to your favorite family recipes and traditions as well. Maybe you are the queen of gingerbread houses every year. With that comes a pile of candy and the urge to eat while building comes on strong. I've been there so many times. Before you even begin the day, decide what value the candies have for you. Do you enjoy it for the memories or the candy? Maybe both. Will you still remember this tradition every year if you opt out of snacking while building? Or is the candy an essential part of the memory making? If candy holds the value, then practice the art of portion control. Set aside a small bowl of candies you love most and snack on the single bowl throughout the night. Takeaway number 3. You can have just 1, 2, or none. You can. I want you to repeat that phrase above over and over in your head until you believe it. If that means you write it on your bathroom mirror to see it daily, do it. Portion control comes from practice and a belief you have all the control. The statement, I have no control, is your excuse, not the problem. To create better habits around portion control, focus on these concepts. Take time to learn. The lack of information you have collected about the food you love to eat is why you are unaware of how much you can eat. So learn. If you have been tracking for some time, trust what you know. Practice portion control daily. Practice makes perfect, right? I mean, we hear it all the time. Well, sorta, but it does make it better. Practice by taking a few foods you eat daily, say peanut butter ice cream because, well, I mean, hello, it's peanut butter, and weigh or measure to see what a serving size looks like. You don't need to log anything if you choose not to. That's not the point of this challenge. Look at weighing as a aha moment for providing you a tool to see how you have control over your portions. If you are a seasoned macro counter and are still struggling with this, mindset shift time. Focus on weighing as a tool because you want to learn, not because you have to learn. Apply what you are learning and then evaluate the outcome. While studying and learning is amazing and a great step, applying is where the magic happens. You can then evaluate your choices and learn from each one. Whatever your choice, you never failed, you only learned something new. Okay, that was a lot to process in a day, but I know you want to learn or you wouldn't be here. To help you understand and apply these 3 takeaways, I have provided a worksheet for you to see what macro value, carbs, fats, or protein, your favorite holiday treats and dishes have. With that information, you can decide on your portions without feeling the need to eliminate. You are starting to conquer the all or nothing mindset and replacing it with the belief that you can and you will because you have the information to start using your control. Believe it. Along with your worksheet, you will get a challenge each day. Use the worksheet to help you with today's challenge. I want you to start learning about your foods. This is not a matter of knowing specific calories or macros, but what your food gives you. For example, I want you to know what that amazing cinnamon roll you decided has so much valuable this season will give to you. I don't want you to think, a cinnamon roll has a lot of sugar, that is bad. No, create a positive thought such as, I am giving my body a good amount of carbs from the sugar and fat from the butter this morning. Decide if that is something you can feel good with for the day and own it. You don't get to guilt yourself before you even eat anything. If you are, again, a seasoned macro counter, then you already have this skill and you need to start trusting it. Maybe you need to ask yourself why you don't trust what you know. Start there and see what you can come up with. All of this info is great, but applying it to yourself may seem overwhelming. I get it. Instead of trying to take all this info and dump it on yourself, start by asking yourself these questions. Why do I feel I do not have control over my food choices? Why have I labeled certain foods as bad and others as good? Why is it hard for me to take the time to learn more about the foods I eat? This gives you a starting point so you know what you need to focus on and the reasons behind the excuses. Well, guys, that is a wrap for day 1. I want you to walk away with this remembering that this is not a 5-day quick fix. These are tools and tips that you will continue to practice throughout the holidays and beyond. I do not expect you to adapt them overnight, and neither should you. Oh, and last thing, I want to hear from you. I've done all the talking and now it's your turn. This is a two-way conversation, this challenge, and not just with me, but with this community that has come together to learn more about these issues and struggles that we are all having. So let's share our new mindset around feeling in control and use the hashtag ESM Holiday Challenge on social media so that we can celebrate each other's daily wins. Don't forget to use the Facebook page to also work through some of your thoughts. See you guys tomorrow.